Far beneath the silver skin of the sea, where sunlight fell in trembling ribbons and the water carried songs older than memory, there stood Neptune's kingdom. It was a realm of coral palaces, pearl roads, and gardens that glowed like fallen stars. In Coral-Crowned City, the ocean itself seemed to breathe in peace. Yet even in that beauty, a shadow had begun to stir. The tides were weaker than before. The glow of the reefs was dimming, and in the eyes of Prince Nerion, heir to the kingdom, lived a worry he could no longer hide. Nerion called for Mira, the youngest tidekeeper ever entrusted with the crystal staff of the royal guardians. She was not the strongest in the court, nor the oldest, but she possessed something rarer than power. She listened to the sea. As she bowed before the prince, he spoke softly. "The heart tide is fading," he said. "If its light dies, the currents will break, the reefs will fall silent, and Neptune's kingdom will sink into ruin." Then he turned toward the darkness beyond the city and whispered the name no one had spoken in years. "The Abyssal Queen has awakened." To save the kingdom, Mira journeyed to the Moonkelp forest, where ancient currents remembered what kingdoms forgot. There, among silver leaves and drifting lantern jellies, she was joined by Orin, a tiny sea dragon with the heart of a storm. He was quick with laughter, quicker with courage, and unwilling to let Mira face the dark alone. As they swam deeper, the forest began to whisper, not in words, but in feeling: grief, anger, loneliness. Mira closed her eyes and listened. The sea was not only weakening, it was hurting. In a hidden clearing, the old magic answered her call. Runes of blue light awakened in the water, and the past unfolded before her. Long ago, before Coral-Crowned City rose in splendor, the deepest waters had their own guardian. She was wise, powerful, and beloved. But when the Upper Kingdom claimed the heart-tide crystal, the deep sea was left to cold silence. That guardian became the Abyssal Queen. She did not rise from cruelty alone. She rose from abandonment. Mira understood then that this was not merely a battle for power. It was the return of a sorrow that had waited centuries to be heard. With the truth in her heart, Mira returned to Prince Nerion, and together they descended into the abyssal trench. Around them, the water grew cold and heavy. Broken pillars leaned like forgotten giants, and black stone ruins slept beneath layers of time. At the trench's deepest gate, they felt it at once, the pulse of immense power. Not wild, not mindless, wounded. The darkness parted, and from a throne of obsidian shell rose the Abyssal Queen, her eyes shining like distant storms. The queen spoke not with rage, but with the weight of ages. "While your city glittered," she said, "my waters starved. While your songs rose, my people vanished into silence." Nerion lifted his weapon, but Mira raised a hand. She saw that the queen did not seek destruction for its own sake. She wanted the kingdom to feel what the deep had suffered. She wanted the heart tide returned to the abyss. And for one trembling moment, the whole sea seemed to wait for Mira's answer. In the heart tide chamber, Mira made a choice no sword could have won. "The crystal was never meant to serve only one realm," she said. "The sea is whole only when every depth is honored." She asked Nerion to share the heart tide with the forgotten trenches, to let its currents flow once more into the deep. For a moment, silence held them all. Then Nerion, seeing the truth his ancestors had ignored, laid down his claim. The Abyssal Queen reached toward the crystal, not in fury, but in grief. When her hand met Mira's staff, the chamber blazed with light. The light of the heart tide rushed through every current, from the highest reef to the deepest trench. Coral-Crowned City shone brighter than ever, not because it held the sea's power alone, but because it had finally learned to share it. In the abyss, life returned. In the kingdom above, wisdom took root. The Abyssal Queen did not vanish into legend as a monster, but was remembered as a guardian restored. And Mira, the tidekeeper who chose understanding over fear, became the voice that united the sea. Beneath the waves, Neptune's kingdom endured, not as a crown over the ocean, but as part of its living heart.